This last week, Bonnie Hunter shared a photo of a vintage quilt on Facebook. The quilt, Lancaster Diamond Sampler, was done circa 1840. I will be demonstrating how to draft your own version of this quilt in Electric Quilt 7. Start by opening EQ7. When you open the program, it will open to a tab that will allow you to create a new project. Name this project, and in my case I'm going to call this Lancaster Sampler, and click OK. Oh, I've already used it, so Lancaster Sampler 2. Okay, so first of all we want to set up the layout for the quilt, and if you recall from looking at that sample I showed you, the blocks were a little bit longer than they were wide. So what I'm going to want to do is go into Quilt, New Quilt, and from the options I'm going to actually select Variable Point. And you can see in looking at this that the blocks are longer than they are wide, but you're actually even allowed to change that. So go into the Layout tab, and I think I want to make a miniature quilt because I just love working with miniatures. So I'm going to actually set the size of my block to have a width of 3 and a height of 4.5, and you can just use the tab button to move between these buttons. And then I need a sashing also, so I'm going to tab down and I'm going to actually set that at 1.75. So that's pretty close to the ratios used in that quilt. I'm then going to go to the border tab, and I'm going to delete that because we really don't need a border. So this quilt is going to be about 14 by 21 inches, so definitely will qualify as a miniature. And if you go to layer 1, you can see now we've got our layout done. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to the sketchbook. For the next step, we will need to collect some fabrics to use in the project and some standard blocks from the EQ libraries. So first I actually want to get rid of the fabrics that are currently in the sketchbook. So to do that, go into View, Sketchbook, and go to the Fabrics tab. And if you hit the Clear button, it will get rid of all of these fabrics. And now click Close. Okay, now go to the Libraries tab, Fabric Libraries, and I'm going to look for some more of the antique fabrics that will actually be more in keeping with the period for this quilt. So if you go to Antique, this is Library 23, and if you click on with your mouse the first fabric and then hit your shift key and hit the last fabric, they're all highlighted with blue and you can add to sketchbook. So I'm going to also do some additional collections. There's the blue reproductions. I love these cinnamon and pink ones and think they're going to work really well. I'll do the green reproductions and also some gold. And then I'm going to do some backgrounds. So let's look at these shirtings fabrics and add those as well. Okay, now let's find some blocks to use on this quilt. So go into Libraries, Block Libraries, and I really love these antique mosaics. So to select them, click on the first one with your mouse, and then hit the Shift key and scroll over and select the last one. Now they're all highlighted in blue, and hit Add to Sketchbook. I'm also going to pick up the chains because I think they're going to look great in some of those half and those quarter blocks. And then I'm going to pick up some of the classics. I think they're always fun designs to work with, and add to sketchbook. Okay, now let's go and make sure that all of our fabrics and blocks got added. So go back and View Sketchbook, and go into the Block tab, and you can scroll and it looks like our blocks are there, and go into the Fabric tab and you can see it looks like all of the fabrics are there. Okay, we can go back to now adding things to our actual quilt. So we're on the Quilt tab here, we're in Layer 1, and we're going to click the Set Block tab, and that's going to open up the sketchbook. And now we're just going to start clicking on individual blocks and then clicking on spaces on the actual quilt, and it will go ahead and move them there. And I'm going to use some of these simpler blocks for the half square and the quarter square triangles. Okay, now that I've finished selecting all of my blocks, I can close that tab down. And now I'm going to pick up the paintbrush tool, which will open the fabric palettes in my sketchbook. And I'm going to start by trying to fill in the sashing. And if you recall, that was a pink, so let's find a good pink here. And for this one, I actually want to hold the control key down when I hit one of those sashings. And you can see it fills in half of my sashing. Hold the control key and then click another space with the paintbrush, and now I've got the rest of the sashing. So let's see if we can also now do the cornerstones the same way, again holding the control key down and hitting the two different cornerstones there. So we have these all colored. I do want to replace some of the solids with actual fabrics, so there's a quick way to do that, and that's this random recolor tool. So if you click on that, and this is the tool that looks like a magic wand, click on the map to fabrics and then just click with your mouse anywhere on the quilt, and it now replaces everything with fabrics there. So I'm going to do a few replacements just because I think there needs to be a little bit more contrast in a couple of those blocks. So let's just get a few of those replaced, and I think that looks pretty good. So I will shut that down and I will add to sketchbook. Okay, we have our quilt all drafted. Let me show you one other advantage in using EQ in this way, and that is when you get ready to piece the blocks. It will actually do all of the resizing for foundations for you. So let's just select a block, and then what I want to do is do File, Print, and I want to do Foundation Patterns. And if I do that, I'm going to actually make sure that Size from Quilt is clicked on. And then if you do a preview, you can actually see how it's going to print out each of the foundations for this particular project. So definitely an advantage versus trying to draft some very interesting sized blocks. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on drafting the Lancaster quilt in Electric Quilt. If you would like additional tips and techniques, please check out my website, www.onpointquilter.com. Thanks for watching.